Olympus, Chapter 5. Taiki stared at the phone in her hand. What? What I'm going to tell you now stays between us, okay? Santiago doesn't need to know. He still thinks he's cluing us in on this whole thing. You knew about this case? Of course I did, Ty. Why else would I take a case out of state with a 0 success rate? AJ grinned. Hannah and Luke can't know anything about this either, okay? I trust you the most out of everyone. Taiki felt weirdly touched by the sentiment. Still, the entire situation didn't make sense. A few weeks ago, I stumbled upon this case on a subreddit. 2 people vanishing into thin air. People were blaming the boyfriend, dismissing it as a crime of passion, but there was one person that commented something about having seen Jordan a few days after Ryan jumped, out here in Vegas. Taiki was immediately weary. Surely if somebody commented that on a subreddit, investigators would have seen it, or somebody would have clued in the police at least. AJ smirked, reading her sister's mind. Yep, I thought so too. I clicked on the username to check it out. Next thing I know, it gets deleted, and all of the comments along with it. I figured maybe it was somebody trying to be interesting or trolling. The thread was so big that the comment had completely gotten lost. Nobody had responded to it, no upvotes. I don't think many people noticed it, except for me. You want to know the best part? Taiki nodded tentatively. The username. I thought it was just a random bunch of numbers. I wrote them down before they got deleted just in case the combination was reused somewhere. But it wasn't random numbers. It was coordinates. And they led exactly to the spot where their car was found after Ryan jumped. It took police days to find that car, and the exact location was never published. Oh, fuck. AJ nodded at her sister's shock. It was a throwaway account, no other activity, just that one comment about how she'd been seen in Vegas. Posted about 3 years after it happened. How can a person remember that they saw a random girl 3 years ago in a huge city like Vegas and have intimate knowledge of the case like that? Well, that doesn't make any sense unless it's her. She's still alive. I'm sure of it. For whatever reason, she wanted someone specific to know. Like it was a message. I convinced Santiago to let us stay in Vegas. I don't care about where he jumped. You and I are going to figure out where the hell she is and why she's here. AJ, this is crazy, Taiki frowned. How could she be here if the whole country's looking for her? That this has to be the most recorded city in the world. There's cameras everywhere. Nobody's looking. You said she had a billionaire family looking for her. In the wrong places, AJ said. Maybe Ryan is still with her, maybe he isn't. Either way, she knows what's happened, and she's somewhere in the city. I think we can find her. How did Diaz get to you then? He's done like 50 interviews about the case. I watched them and I dropped an anonymous tip that maybe there was a PI agency on the East Coast that could help him out. He thinks we're assisting him, so he gives us the tools and the money that we need. And in return, he gets a bit of the credit when we solve it. Win-win. She blinked. You absolute psycho. AJ grinned. Enjoy the sweet, Ty. Taika looked around. Her sister had played her cards expertly. She was in complete awe. Why can't he know? Why can't the others? Because I might have done some not so legal things to get information on the account. Taiki sighed. AJ, no, listen. I had a hacker run the email account the throwaway was created with. It did a few things next to the Reddit account. I'll explain everything later, but I have a pretty solid lead on where she could be. Which is Velvet Sin, a seedy strip club in town. That's probably where she works. Taiki stared at her sister. According to the website, it's open now, AJ smiled. Her sister immediately realized what it was exactly that she was asking her. You think Luke couldn't have done a good job at that? AJ chuckled dryly. Luke thinks with his junk. You know that. He would never be able to focus in there. And Hannah would rather quit than set a single foot inside a place like that. What about you? I'm going to go meet Santiago, hear his spiel again, and say that you aren't feeling great and you had to go lie down. Taiki huffed. So you want me to do all the dirty work while you get to wine and dine with Mr. Rugged FBI agent? AJ winked at her. Taiki rolled her eyes. Fine, just send me the address. I'll see what I can do. She moved to head out the door. I figured you'd like what you see there anyway. The smile dropped off of Taiki's face. Chapter 6. Taiki wrung her hands together nervously as the Uber pulled up to the address. She put a hand on the door handle, but the driver cleared his throat. You don't, have to, you know. What? Just, he chuckled nervously. There's always other things to do. Go flip burgers or something. You don't have to do this. Taiki processed what he was saying. Oh, no, it's okay. I'm just gonna have a look around. Do you want me to wait? I can wait out here until you get back. His nervousness really made her want to take him up on his offer, but she knew she had a job to do. And if Jordan was there, she wouldn't be in and out in a few minutes. I'll be fine. Thank you, though. She made sure to tip him and give him 5 stars and even waved at him as he drove off. Taking a deep breath and glancing up at the grimy, dusty front of the club. A dirty marquee with the letters barely visible below a flickering neon sign. Velvet Sin, drinks, girls, and entertainment. She glanced down at her low-cut top. Was she overdressed? Underdressed? Too much makeup? Not enough? Fuck it. She showed her ID to the bouncer and waited for him to finish eyeing her up and down. As he nodded towards the door, her phone buzzed in her pocket. She checked her smartwatch. AJ, are you inside yet? She fished her phone out of her pocket to respond. Just inside. I'll text you when I'm out. AJ, stay safe. Be smart. Did her sister actually care? Or was that just a thing people said? Even the freaking Uber driver had been concerned about her. She shook her head, willing the thought away. Not now. For now, she had a job to do. The first thing that hit her was the hot air and sweaty smell of the club. The floor was dirty, and the man standing and sitting around looked less than desirable. She was instantly uncomfortable. She nodded politely at the bartender and took a seat in the vacant booth. A few seconds later, a woman dressed in a bikini appeared next to her table. Hi, sweetheart. Are you here to see the boss? Taiki cleared her throat. No, I'm just, Oh. The woman's face morphed into a reassuring smile as she put her hand on her shoulder. Sorry, baby, my bad. What can I get you? Something sweet? I'll get them to whip up something nice for you. Taiki thanked her. Whether the woman was working hard for a tip or not, the fact that she wasn't treated with disdain comforted her, albeit only slightly. She looked around the club, but the low light made it hard to see faces. And going off of hair wouldn't be much help. If Jordan was really here, a haircut was the first logical step to blending in. A new music track started, and the two women on stage dancing around a pole made way for two replacements, under thunderous applause and numerous singles thrown by the guys standing around. She was in class a few hours ago. Now she was in a seedy strip joint in Vegas. What the fuck? The two new dancers didn't look familiar either. Here you go, sweetie. Taiki looked up to see her server putting down a bright red drink. This is a red velvet, one of our signatures. Strawberry liqueur, white rum, and some sugar syrup. Taiki took a sip. It tasted delicious. The server figured as much based on her expression and chuckled. I'm glad you like it. Just relax. I'll send someone to come talk to you. Do you have a type? She couldn't think, let alone figure out a game plan. When the silence became too awkward and long, the server put another hand on her shoulder and leaned in close. No need to be nervous, sweetheart. Most of us actually prefer women. She walked away, platter in hand. Jesus Christ. It wasn't that she was aroused by this atmosphere. This was just about the biggest turnoff in history. The smell of sweat and humidity, the loud music. Not to mention the... Hey, pretty lady. She blinked and looked up to see a man standing next to her. Handlebar mustache, greasy, slicked back hair, and his lip caught between his teeth. Trying to look sexy, she supposed. Hello, she said politely. You look prettier than all those strippers combined, he grinned. Are you local? Jesus. No, just visiting. What's a pretty girl like you doing here? Job interview? The third time someone asked her about it. No, just trying to grab a drink. Can I grab you one? I just got one. She motioned towards her drink on the table. Thank you, though. She looked around, trying to make eye contact with the server. Unfortunately, the woman was busy tending to tables on the other side of the club. The man reached forward, his hand swiping across the table. Oops. Her glass toppled and spilled all over the table and on her shirt and pants. Guess you'll have to get a new one. Can I get you a margarita? My wife loves those. So many things wrong with that sentence. Taiki vaguely found humor in the fact that he would be a prime candidate for their agency. His poor wife. She winced at the cold ice dripping down her chest and legs. Before she could look up to either reprimand the man, yell at him, or even lunge, his face had disappeared. Instead, she felt a hand wrap around her wrist, pulling her out of the booth and through the club. The only thing she registered was that the music was much quieter here. Finally, she could hear herself think. She was in one of the back rooms, probably the hub to the private rooms the club had to offer. Happened? Chuck happened. Who's this? He threw a cocktail on her. Hey, are you okay? Taiki finally realized that she was being talked to. She looked up to see two girls staring at her, a hint of concern in their eyes. Yeah, I'm okay. Swear to God, the left one said. None of the security guys ever do something about him. He put his hand on Jenny a week ago. She didn't come into work until yesterday. He gets away with it because he's got money. That's fucked up, Taiki croaked. The woman smiled weakly. Yeah, tell me about it. Come here, babe. Taiki allowed the woman to lead her into one of the private rooms, guided her to the couch, and headed out. A few seconds later, she reappeared, holding a laundry pen and some tissues. It's not ideal, but it'll get the stickiness out. Thank you, Taiki said, sincerely. If they don't throw Chuck out after this, I'm quitting, the dancer lamented. There's a few clubs on a strip hiring. I'll take my chances there. I'm done with this place. Can I do something? Well, maybe if you make a fuss about it to the boss, but he doesn't really take women clients seriously, unless you got big money. Taiki shook her head. I'm sorry. No problem. I'm just glad we got you out of there. I got a hoodie in my locker, if you want it. I'm sorry, but you look really sexy in that top. Taiki felt a blush creep up her cheeks. Were you here to get a dance? I can do it. Don't worry about tips or anything. That's not necessary, she said quickly. I'm just, looking for a girl. You're cute, the woman smiled, twirling Taiki's hair between her fingers. Do you need to let off some steam? It's been a while since I've had some private time with a girl. Taiki tried to form words, but her brain seemed to have left the building. No, could she take the risk? If she showed the woman a picture of Jordan and she got suspicious, she would get kicked out. And maybe AJ would lose the only lead she had on the case. She couldn't do that to her sister. On the other hand, outright refusing the girl in front of her to ask for someone else seemed awful, especially after she saved her from that creep. Could you maybe get the hoodie? Of course, darling. We don't have to do anything. I was just offering. Whatever you're comfortable with. I'm Shay, by the way. Taiki. Shay, likely a fake name, smiled. That sounds beautiful. I'll be right back, okay, Taiki? She nodded and watched the woman leave. The curtain to the private room remained open. What had she gotten herself into? She had to risk it to avoid lounging around this place any longer than she had to. Deciding on a certain middle ground, she knew Jordan's features based on the picture and video she'd seen. She could only hope she looked remotely the same as back then. When Shay reappeared holding the hoodie, Taiki cleared her throat. A friend of mine recommended this place to me. Off Shay's slightly disgusted look, she chuckled. I know, but he had a favorite around here. I forgot her name, but she's slender, Latina, about 5'3". Shay thought for a few seconds. We've got a few of those. Anything else you know about her? She's got brown eyes, a nice smile. That would be either Raven or Corazon. Corazon. Jordan Hart. It was a 50-50 gamble, but they were in Vegas after all. Corazon. That was it. She's on break. Do you want me to go get her? Do you want her to take care of you? She had to know for sure. Yes, please. Shay smiled, twirling Taiki's hair once again. All right. Pity, though. A pretty girl like you, I would have loved to take care of you. But hey, maybe if I'm at the Sapphire or Rhino, you can come visit me? Taiki smiled, willed herself not to think too much about the playful touches Shay was giving her. I'd like that. I'll go get Corazon for you. It could be a few, and I don't know if you'll be able to get a freebie out of her, but I'll put in a good word for you. She likes girls even more than I do. With one final wink, Shay was gone. Chapter 7. Why did they put a black light in these rooms, man? Taiki wasn't a germaphobe, but she was fighting for her life, trying not to walk out of the private strip room. Now that she wasn't focused on Shay and waiting for Jordan, hopefully, to get there, she was getting overwhelmed quickly. The moans and dirty talk from several of the surrounding rooms didn't help matters either. Finally, a few minutes later, the curtain into the room was drawn, and a petite woman appeared, dressed in an even smaller bikini than Shay's. Her hair was completely different from the picture. Instead of the long brown hair, she now had a white bob. But when the smile appeared on the woman's face, it was unmistakably her. Goddamn. AJ really had done it. Taiki was staring at a missing person that was smiling right back at her. Hi, gorgeous. Shay told me that you were looking for a good time. Taiki's mouth went dry. Now she really had to figure out how to play her cards. Could she gain her trust? Lure her out somewhere, or just pretend that nothing was wrong, tell AJ where she was? Or she could think like an actual PI and get as much information as she could. Maybe even follow her home. In that moment, something clicked. AJ set it up. Now it was up to her to knock it down. Maybe that had been AJ's plan all along. A smirk threatened to make its way across her face. She had this. I am, yeah. Coruscant, Jordan, smiled. Well, I can help you with that. Shay said she pulled you out of a booth. Taiki nodded. The thicker she laid this on, the better her odds of getting a connection. Yeah, some guy was harassing me. Chuck. He threw my drink on me when I didn't want to flirt back. Jordan winced. Chuck is an idiot. He comes here every week and he stirs up trouble. I'm sorry that happened to you. Are you okay? Yeah. Shay gave me her hoodie. It's not very sexy, but, you are sexy. Don't worry, you're beautiful. Taiki blushed. Thanks. I don't really have a lot of experience with, Jordan shook her head. Don't worry. You don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with. I just want to make you feel good. Had the room just gotten hotter? Okay. Jordan crouched down in front of her and slowly put her hands on Taiki's waist. Is this okay? Yeah. Her arms moved up and down as Jordan leaned in closer. You want to let off some steam? You're allowed to touch me. I won't get mad. Taiki blinked. I don't want to do anything wrong. You won't. Jordan moved down to sit on her lap and wrapped her arms around her. Do you want a kiss? I don't know. That's okay. I haven't really come out yet. Jordan pulled back slightly. Her eyes raked across Taiki's, waiting for her to elaborate. My sister said that coming here would be good for me. How are you feeling so far? Jordan asked. Taiki took a shaky breath. I don't want to make you feel like you have to do something to please me. I don't want to be like those men out there. Don't worry. I don't see you as one of those guys. You would have been halfway down my pants right now, Jordan chuckled. If you want to figure some stuff out, I'd be happy to help you. You look like a good girl, so you can go tell your sister to suck it. Taiki laughed. It made Jordan smile too. Could we maybe, not do it here? I'd understand if because that's super unprofessional, but are you local? I have a suite at the Venetian for the week. Oh, Jordan's eyes lit up. I didn't expect that. No offense, I mean, but I haven't been to the Venetian in a long time, so we can order some room service and then maybe chill? Jordan looked up at Taiki's face. For a second, she feared that the woman was onto her. Then Jordan smiled again. If you buy the dinner, we can have some fun in your room. I work Wednesday and Thursday, but I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow sounds perfect. Hang on, I'll be right back. Taiki watched as Jordan walked out of the room, processing the last few minutes. It couldn't have been that easy, right? A private meeting with her after meeting her less than 10 minutes ago, it was suspicious. Was it, though? That's what AJ did. Use her face, body, and sexuality as an asset. That was part of getting information out of people. After all, she was here to do a job. Reunite Jordan with her family. That was the plan. Stick to the plan. Jordan returned with a pen and reached for Taiki's palm, writing down a phone number. Text me your suite and when I should come. I'm off work at 2, so I won't be able to answer until tonight. Okay. Jordan smiled and reached forward to press a kiss to Taiki's cheek. No pressure, okay? If you change your mind or you just want to talk, whatever you need. Why are you being so nice to me? It was out of her mouth before she realized it. Fuck, had she ruined it? Jordan blinked a few times. I don't know. You're cute. And honestly, I could use the distraction. Things haven't been so great for me. And the pay here sucks, so maybe a nice dinner will do me some good. Sorry, that's totally not your problem. No, I get it. I really get it. Believe me. Jordan looked up at her. I have to go. I can't stay in a private room for too long, but text me? Yeah, of course. Another kiss to Taiki's cheek. A minute later, Taiki sighed in relief at the night air hitting her face. She looked down at her phone and ordered an Uber, not wanting to stay in the seedy part of town for much longer. Her ride got accepted. While she waited for the car to get there, she saw the phone number written on her palm. Opened a new contact and put the number in. Instead of the name, for security reasons, she figured an emoji was better. Corazon, heart. She put a heart emoji to remember it and sent a quick update to AJ. On my way back. Are you in the room? A few seconds later, she got a response. Still at dinner. Are you okay? Taiki smiled. Her Uber pulled up. Enjoy dinner. Everything is fine. As she got into the back, she considered her options. The Venetian? She nodded. Maybe she should take a page out of AJ's book and get more information before revealing all of her cards. She wanted to see the look on AJ's face when she revealed that she knew everything about the case. That she was one step ahead of her sister, when her sister thought she had her in the palm of her hand. More than just a pawn. Taiki grinned at the thought.